In our day-to-day life, we receive so many spam and fraud calls, and many a times we even attend them because the numbers are so normal. But now it is becoming a problem because the number of spam and fraud calls are increasing on daily basis. And this is what we'll be looking today. Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video, we will be talking about TRAI's proposal to help callers identify spammers, because with each passing day we are seeing that the number of fraud and spam calls are increasing, and now it is becoming a problem for the normal people. So let us first understand the timeline of the video. First we'll be looking at the news, then what is the calling name presentation or CNAP, then what is the purpose, that why the TRAI or the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India is trying to impose this or trying to bring it, then what are the proposed models by them, then TRAI proposing to introduce in feature phones also or not, and what are the challenges that is being faced and the way forward. In the end, a prelims MCQ. This topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2, which is Government Policies and Intervention. See, from prelims you should be able to know that what is calling name presentation, and from mains what is its purpose and what are the challenges and the way forward. So let's see the news, and the news has been taken from the Hindu Explained, and it says TRAI's proposal to help callers identify spammers, and the important word here is proposal, that it is only the proposal which has been given. So let us look at that what the TRAI is saying, that the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, TRAI, which is formed by the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India Act, they have floated a consultation paper and is asking for comments from people. So they have only floated the consultation paper now, and nothing has been done or nothing has been made till now, and now they are asking for comments from people. That the potential introduction of calling name presentation, that they are saying that now it is time that the calling name presentation should be introduced in our country, because the number of fraud and the spam calls are increasing, and many a times now that people have also started complaining about it. That the calling name presentation, what does it do, what does it consist of? It provides the called individual, the one who is calling. So it provides the called individual with information about the calling party. So this will work similar to what Truecaller and Bharat Caller ID and anti-spam does. So for example, if a person is receiving a call, then what does Truecaller do at present? It shows the number and then the name on which the number is registered. So the CNAP is also meant to do this, just like Truecaller and Bharat Caller ID, and the person that is picking up the phone or the person who is receiving the call will be having the identity of the person on his or her phone and can decide whether the person wants to pick the phone or not. And the CNAP aim would be to ensure telephone subscribers are able to make informed choice about incoming calls and curb harassment by unknown or spam callers. Now this was becoming a problem, that the spam or the fraud calls, whenever the people used to attend that thinking that this can be a genuine call also, then they used to harass a lot many people, and many wrong incidents have also been reported. So just to curb this, many a times we see that not to be harassed, many a times people tend to miss on genuine calls also. So this will be really helpful for this, and this is what the aim of CNAP, that is calling name presentation, is. Then the comments to the consultation paper are invited till December 27, 2022. So this was about what is the news or what the TRAI is doing. Then comes that what is the purpose of doing this, why CNAP, what it will do. Then presently the number of calling entity appears on the potential receivers handset and many genuine calls remains unanswered as name and identity does not appear. So what happens is, like, imagine this is the phone and the receiver only receives the number and does not receive all the other information. So for example, imagine that if it is a genuine call but the someone is calling at night or at a time which is not significant or which is not right, then the person tend to not pick the call or tend to ignore the call. But many a times it has been seen that the genuine calls are also being ignored and the genuine calls are also not being picked up by the people. So this is also what is becoming a problem. So if the person's identity or the name of the person will appear with the number, then it might be easy for the receiver to identify whether the call is genuine or not, or whether the person wants to pick the call or does not want to pick the call. Then the rising concerns about robocalls. So what is robocalls? Robocalls is also a problem in today's time because robocalls are recorded calls. It means that whenever you will pick the call, the same kind of conversation will go on. So this is also nowadays on daily basis you will see that you will be receiving 1 or 2 robocalls. Then spam calls and fraudulent calls. Then local circles survey, which is a community research platform. So they have done a survey and the survey says that 64% of respondents receive at least 3 spam calls each day. It means one single day the person is receiving 3 spam calls, and 95% of respondents receiving them despite registering on DND, and DND is do not call directory. So these are few of the points that you can even take it and write it in your answer writing, that 64% people receive at least 3 spam calls a day and 95% are receiving the spam calls even though they have put the number on DND. Then Truecaller's 2021 Global Spam and Scam Report. This is taken out by Truecaller, and this says that the average number of spam calls per user each month stood at 16.8 in each month what one person is receiving. Then the total spam volumes received were in excess of 3.8 billion in calls in October. So you can imagine that the high number of spam calls, fraudulent calls, robocalls, that why is it becoming a problem. And imagine if a person would be receiving 3 to 4 spam or fraudulent call in a day, then no one would want to pick or any unknown number, because this creates a problem. How do you want to pick the number and call someone or something which is disturbing you? Then you will also, with gradually and with a span of time, you will also not pick the calls. Now let us see that what are the proposed models by TRAI. They have proposed 4 model, and the first model says that the telecom service provider, which is TSP, they will establish and operate a CNAP database of its subscriber. It means all the subscriber who are part of telecom service provider, they will prepare a database of all the people that they have, and then the caller TSP would have to extract the relevant data from its own database. So it means that the telecom service provider, whatever database it provides, so they have to find out, and the number will be taken from it and will be presented to the receiver's call. Then the name identity of the calling person would be there and would be sent to the potential receiver's TSP to be presented to the final user. So this is what the TSP will do. First they will prepare it, then after preparing they will give it to other people, like see, sent to the potential receiver's TSP. So this is the receiver's TSP who will receive it, and then the number or the name or the identity will be presented on the call of the person. This is what the first model says. Now let's talk about the second model. It talks about that the operator of the calling entity shares its CNAP database with the receiver's operator. Okay, see, this is first or calling entity database and this is the receiver's operator database. So they will share their database with each other, and the calling operator would permit the receiver operator to access its database. So this is the, imagine receiver, this is the calling one. So the calling one and the receiving one will be giving permission to each other that they can access it, his or her or each other's database. Then the operator could use their respective mobile number portability databases also. So this they will simultaneously will give permission to each other. Now let's come to the third model, and the third model talks about the third party operates a centralized database. So in this is the receiver database, this is the calling entity, but there will be a third entity also in between who will keep the centralized or who will operate the centralized database. Then the receiver's operator delve into centralized database to retrieve and present the caller's data and require that TSP inform the database while enrolling new subscriber or deactivating existing ones. So the third party is what who will be responsible for centralizing or handling the database and will look into the matter. Then comes the fourth model. This talks about that each TSP maintain a CNAP database. It means the receiver, the caller, they will maintain his or her own and separate databases, and they retain a copy of a synchronized central database operated by a third party. There will also be a third party like the third model who will be handling the central database. Then call is facilitated as per the routine procedure. This is very normal that whatever the way which is followed now will also be followed then also. Then the receiver's operator has access to both the centralized and their own database. So this is the caller, this is the receiver, and the receiver will have the access of his or her own database and also the third party database. Then this is what will be done, because the lookup will be then internal, because the receiver operator has access to both the centralized and the own database. It means the receiver can have a look into all the things. Then these are four models which will be which the TRAI has proposed. They have only proposed, none of them has been finalized. So it does not mean that you will have to go much into the models, because nothing has been finalized now. Out of these four, one would be finalized. So keep yourself focused to the purpose of what is CNAP, what is its purpose, what is its aim, what are the challenges and everything. Now let's talk about that whether TRAI is proposing to introduce the CNAP in feature phones or not. Then yes, they are also planning, because the Department of Telecommunication have requested the TRAI to explore the feasibility and network readiness, so that it can be seen that whether all the phones which are presently in usage can use the facility or not, and if something becomes wrong or with span of time things and the phones which are in market can use it or not, whether they have the essential features to use this facility or not. Then providing CNAP to all telephone subscribers, including feature phone users also. Feature phones means all those normal phones which we used to number phones, I would say. The basic phones are the feature phones. And the feature phones would struggle with constantly updating information. This is what is the problem which is seen with the feature phones, that whenever the updation would come, then will they be able to update themselves with the incoming updations with time. Then comes what are the challenges. So there are two major challenges. First is latency, second is privacy. So see, first let us talk about the latency challenge. It says that there is slight increase in the time taken to set up a call. So it is being said that if the CNAP database or the CNAP feature will be there in a phone, will it make any difference to to the time that the call is being sent or the call is being received, or whether the things will be delayed, or whether the things will be on hold, or whether the call will be on a hold or on a hang up. So will this kind of problem be there? So there are slight increase in the time taken to set up a call. It won't be like before. This is what is said now. Then the responsiveness might suffer when moving from a faster wireless network to a comparatively slower one. So this is also the problem would be there, that the faster wireless the response would be fast, while as compared to the slower wireless, then the speed will be comparatively less. This is where the problem will lie. And the second challenge is the privacy challenge, because it says that if the identity of the person will be revealed by the CNAP, then this will go against the law of privacy or the right to privacy of a person who wants to be anonymous. Then how CNAP mechanism would balance the caller's right to remain anonymous, and which is an essential component of the right to privacy, because not everyone wants to show their identity or their name. Like for example, imagine if someone is a whistleblower, will that person want to reveal his or her identity? No, then there would be a problem in these kind of cases. So the right to privacy or the privacy would be a very big challenge in this CNAP thing. Now let us talk about that what is the way forward in this case. So first is the system gets built and hundreds of people are able to utilize the system. Only then, when 100 and 1000 or lakhs of people will be able to utilize the CNAP system, only then the system will be a success. If there will be a choice that many people can use it and many cannot, then there would be a problem, and then also the problem of privacy would lie, because if hundreds and thousands of people would apply it and many would not apply it, then the identity of few people will be revealed while the identity of others will not be revealed. So this system will become a success only when it will be accepted by a very large number of people. Then only then would the system have a meaningful impact. Interface should be user friendly with an effective mechanism. This is true that things has to be user friendly, because we are not very digitally advanced nation and the digital divide is still very much there in our country. Active participation from the subscribers would ensure that spammers are rightly identified and are unable to make further calls. So if any person identifies a spam calls, then the moral responsibility lies on the person also, that he or she needs to report the call, so that if people would start doing this, then more and more number of spam calls or spam numbers will be there on the list, and then only they will be blocked or something can be done after them. Then government must also invest in digital literacy, skilling citizens to navigate and use the tech better. Digital literacy is important, as I've already told you that the digital divide already lies in our country. People are using smartphones, but that does not mean that most of the people knows how to use all the features. So knowing how to use the features, and then having the skills to even see that what can be done if something is doing wrong, for example, imagine that someone like our parents or our grandparents, when a spam call comes on their number, do they know that what needs to be done, that the call can also be reported or the number can be blocked also? No, many a times they are not aware of these features. So that is where the aspect of digital literacy would come, and also the user friendly, because the people who have the phone but does not know or are not very well versed with it, then the problem lies for them. Now before the prelims MCQ, we are coming up with NCERT foundation course, and that will be done in the online format via the Drishti learning app. So any one of you who is just starting your UPSC preparation can go for this course, as the things NCERT would be taken and would be taken up from the scratch. So you can actually work upon building your concepts from there. Now it's time for the practice question. That is, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section, and it says, consider the following statements regarding the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, which is TRAI. First is, TRAI was formed from Telecom Regulatory Authority of India Act 1997 formed. Second is, calling name presentation ensure that telephone subscribers are able to make an informed choice about incoming calls and curb harassment. And you have to tell the correct statement, and the codes are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So you can try doing this MCQ. This is an easier one. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.